back to Cash Flow Confidence. In this episode, we're going to talk about the most important KPI in your business. And it's not revenue, it's not profitability, it's not even what is sitting in your bank account. It's how your business makes you feel. How much peace does your business give you? That's the most important KPI in your business. You all started your business because you wanted to feel a certain way. You wanted to feel in control of your life. You wanted to feel free. You wanted to feel expansive. And so if your business is not doing that, then that is something that you need to focus on, because so many business owners, they start their businesses, things are going great, but eventually they reach the point of the business kind of running them and they experience a whole lot of burnout, and peace is the last thing that their business is giving them. This episode actually stems from a conversation I had recently with a woman I met who she was telling me that she had just crossed the $1 million threshold in her business. So she just started doing $1 million in revenue annually, which is very exciting because, when we start out, the first milestone that we look forward to is that 6-figure mark. You hit that 6-figure mark. Now your business is kind of standing on its own 2 feet. You don't really need your job anymore. And then the next thing to look forward to is the 7-figure mark. Now you've got this business that's actually doing pretty well. And so that's where this lady I was talking to was at. Her business had just started doing $1 million. And I was asking her about it, and she let me know that she actually works probably, I think she said somewhere between like 70 and 80 hours a week. She got no sleep. Her health was in decline, so she was having to see the doctor a whole lot more for various things that were going on. She was missing a bunch of things that her kids had going on. And she was talking as though like life has never been this bad before. But she was doing $1 million a year. She was profitable and her business had cash in the bank, quite a lot of cash actually. But she felt absolutely horrible. And so it got me thinking, when people go into business, they kind of ignore the reason that they went into business in the first place. And that was because their business is going to make them feel a certain way. And now that, things are growing and expanding, that feeling that they once thought that, this business is going to solve everything, it's actually starting to ruin everything. Like your relationships are going downhill, your health is going downhill, and it's just starting to run you. So what do you do in that situation? Well, the first thing you need to realize is that these emotions that you feel they're diagnostics. And so just like you look at your numbers to make decisions off of, you need to look at your emotions as well. And if there's tension and burnout, then that means that something in your business is misaligned. You need to realize that you're the most important asset in your business. It's not that vendor that you rely on. It's not that supplier that brings in your supplies. It's not your employees. It's you. And so if you're drained, then your numbers are they're going to be drained as well. And so you need to make sure that as the most important, asset in your business, that you are well taken care of mentally and emotionally. And so your business needs to feel like, like a well-tailored suit almost, or, your most favorite comfortable pair of PJs, if that's what you're going for. But at the end of the day, it does not need to feel like a straitjacket, right? I like to refer to, especially revenue, as a vanity metric, because we've all been sold that this idea of more revenue, more sales is going to equal more happiness, but that's just not true. And you might be in a spot of finding that out to be true for yourself, because the truth is you could still hit your revenue goal. You can still hit your profitability goal and be completely overwhelmed. You can increase your cash flow and feel completely disconnected from your family and your values. It's almost like living in a huge mansion, but it has no furniture in it. Like, it's nice to look at, but it's just empty and hollow on the inside. And so if that's what you're going through right now, then I want to flip the script for you. Let's stop chasing those metrics that just look good on paper or feel good to tell your friends about. And let's start measuring what actually matters in real life and how your business can calibrate to that. So the first thing I want to ask you is, how do you feel when you wake up to work in your business? When you wake up and you're fixing to go to your computer or drive to your office, how are you feeling? Are you excited? Are you on fire? Are you passionate? Or are you just completely dissociating and wishing that you had anything else to do that day and dreaming that you could just spend the day on the river instead? I want you to really tune into that, because your feelings are not fluff. They're data, and you need to pay attention to them. Feeling exhausted is a signal, and feeling completely uninspired is a red flag. And feeling anxious every time payroll comes around means that your system is just broken. And so what if we actually started tracking these things? I want you to imagine you're looking at a dashboard and it's showing you revenue, profitability, and cash flow. And then it's got a fourth metric, and that's your alignment score on 1 to 10. Ask yourself, how aligned do I feel with the business that I'm building? If it's a 10, it means you wake up excited, you're ready to go, you've got all these ideas. If it's a 5, it means you're kind of just grinding through it. You're getting through the day to day. You're doing what needs to be done that day. Tomorrow it'll be another day. And 1 means you're just completely dreading it and you're questioning why you even did this in the first place. And you're wondering how I can get out of it as fast as I can. What is your number right now? Just be honest with yourself. Don't have any shame or judgment around it, just awareness. So what is your score right now? And I want to tell you something that I have seen in clients or in other people that I have worked with. When you stop chasing revenue just for the sake of how it looks on paper, and you start designing your business for freedom and peace and alignment, your numbers are going to follow anyway, because the thing is, when you feel good in your business, you show up better in your business, you think more clearly, you make better decisions, you lead your team with conviction instead of just panic. And you make better long-term decisions because you're not just in survival mode, just trying to get through the day. And that emotional well-being is the real engine behind sustainable financial growth. And so, again, I want to ask you to track yourself when it comes to how aligned you feel in your business. So once a week, just sit down with yourself and ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, how aligned do I feel with my business? Next, I want you to ask, what gave me energy this week? What made me feel good? Another question is, what drained me this week? And then finally, what do I want more of next week? What do I want less of next week? It's a very simple but eye-opening process, because when you start noticing that every Tuesday is a 4 out of 10 because you're just crammed with back-to-back calls, or creating a new product is just tanking your energy, you can start making these intentional shifts and realizing that maybe it's time to outsource something. Maybe it's time to restructure your offers. Maybe it's time to raise your prices so that you can take on fewer clients, and some of these clients that you don't really want hanging around anyway are going to start to fall off. But the thing is here, you're not making impulsive decisions. You're checking in with your body and your brain the same way that you check in with your bank account, because the business you're building is either going to give you life or it's going to drain it. And you deserve to feel proud of the business you're building, not just because the numbers look good, but because it feels good to run. So your action step that I want you to do this week is track your alignment score. Ask yourself how you feel in your business, and don't brush it off. Don't try to sugarcoat it, and don't introduce any shame around it either, because your feelings, they're just data. Just like numbers, they're just data, but they do matter. And if you want help designing a business that feels as good as it looks on paper, then definitely reach out to me, because I think something that separates me from a lot of people in my field is that I'm not just going to show you a bunch of numbers and industry benchmarks and say, well, so-and-so in this company that's, the same field as yours is doing this, so this is what you need to shoot for as well. I really care about how you feel about your business, and I take that approach into every meeting that I have. And so if you want to feel better about your business, please reach out to me. Until next time, do what you need to do to go build a business that feels like a huge mansion with beautiful furniture inside. All right, that's all I have for this week. Bye, everyone.